Baltimore. Welcome aboard the USS Constellation.
This Anna, look, he's going to say hello. He's going to go, look at this, Anna.
All right. So just hi, top of the morning, Baltimore. Welcome aboard the USS Constellation.
Hi, top of the morning. I'm Nick, and welcome aboard the Constellation.
I asked my daughter to ask you some questions. She was upset you didn't agree with her. She's trying to stop her.
You done with those? Yes. Yeah, I can hold care of those for you.
Thank you.
You guys got any questions before you get off the ship?
Yeah, you like Wisconsin pork, because that's where we're from.
Oh, where are you from?
Around the Milwaukee area, but I went to school in Madison.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes?
I'm from Madison, and I went to school at UW La Crosse. Yeah.
From Madison to Wisconsin?
No.
Oh, man.
No, I was not good enough for UW-Madison.
Oh.
Although I dated a Badger for 5 years, but that's as close as I got.
All right.
No, but plus UW-Madison's archaeology program is weird.
I'm Wisconsin.
Hey, there we go!
All right.
Hey, all right! Well, welcome aboard.
Everybody's from Wisconsin.
I love it. This is a good day.
Apparently today.
So,
Yes, if you're interested, I wouldn't be doing my job quite as famous.
Did you-
If you're interested in Wisconsin,
Did you think of a couple questions to ask anybody? We can ask him. Oh, so.
So I need to just stay. Hi.
Please watch your head on the awning. All 4 decks are open today, but as you go down below, please watch your head and your step. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me or somebody else with the Constellation.
I almost wanted to go to Miami for a time.
Well, during the 1950s, it would have been used as
the programming here is like, I want to get out
alongside
of
West
Wisconsin
Africa, looking
because
for
I've lived there all my whole life.
ships.
But my thing is like,
During the
because of
Civil
my
War, it
interest
was
in history,
used
I also had a degree in a history
trying to gain
field.
support for
Although I
the Union cause,
technically am a historian, I got my degree in archaeology.
like doing very official
Which means I
business.
get to touch
During
history.
World War II, it was used as office spaces. But other than that, that was about it.
Oh, we're
Yeah, good.
basically all historians.
Show you guys doing your job.
Nick over there, he is also an archaeologist. Yeah. The guy down at the desk, Forrest, he just likes museums. That's his thing. And it works for him because he's always...
Hi, I'm Amy from North Carolina. Oh, sorry. Hi, top of the morning. I'm Amy from North Carolina, and this is Layla and Eli. And we're enjoying our tour of the Inner Harbor here in Baltimore, and we really like the USS Constellation.
Is this your first time in Baltimore?
It is our first time in Baltimore.
And so what do you think of Baltimore?
It's a great city. Everyone's really nice. We've enjoyed some great restaurants, and we're really excited to cheer on the Orioles tonight.
Oh, terrific. So you're an Orioles fan?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you came for the Orioles then? Or what?
Yes, we did. We came for a family trip. We wanted to tour the city and check out the Orioles tonight, cheer them on.
Okay. And have you any last thoughts?
Thank you for having this beautiful place for us to visit. We appreciate it.
Okay. And say, yay, go Baltimore, something like
Okay.
that.
Go Baltimore.
All right. I hope you win tonight. I hope everything works for you. Have a nice day.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, top of the morning. Welcome to the USS Constellation. The US Constellation, she was built in 1854 and then commissioned in 1855. I'm Nick, and I've been working here for about 5 months. I went to Penn State, and I graduated there in 2015. It's been very interesting here working here so far because previously I didn't study extensively the Navy too much, so I've had to learn a lot on the job, and it's been very informative and interesting. I like when the cannon goes off. It's very interesting, and I know the guests really enjoy that one. That's the one literally everyone on the ship always comes to watch. Adults go to the Powder Monkey tour, but also children, of course, too. That's just where they talk more extensively about the ship's boys who worked on the ship. that would have been people ages 13 to 17, but sometimes the boys here were as young as 11. But they would just explain more extensively what they did, and especially on the gun deck, they would explain more thoroughly. And they'd tell stories about the capstan, about why they're called, the holes in the capstan are called pigeonholes, because the powder monkeys would frequently put pigeons in the holes to scare or upset the sailors as they put the bars in the hole. Hello, welcome, you can come on up. What?
Yeah, you'll come back through there, if that's what you're talking about, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
You can push that. Nice pad there, young lady. All 4 decks are open. You can come down. All 4 decks are open. Please just watch your head and your step. Are going down, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Yeah, 2 o'clock.
Well, it's 2:20 now, so here.
Yeah.
But I could call, if you want to hear about the ship's capstan, I will be more than happy to come tell you all about it. If you want to go with that.
Alright, we can go with that now.
I mean, if
Hello everyone, welcome aboard. Please watch your head on the awning. Not too much here, but I don't think he's paying attention to that. But all 4 decks are open today, but as you go down below, please watch your head and your step. You are the only person who probably won't have a problem. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask us. Thank you. Watch your head, sir, on the awning. And like I told them, just make sure you watch your head and your step throughout the show.
This is a capstan. That's what it's called. Use it for this is how we get cargo. Right? How it works is that we would have a block and pulley at the end of the spar, with a line running down to our cargo on the pier and a line running around the capstan itself. At which point we would ship in our bars, just like this. And we get a group of guys to turn this clockwise, which would increase tension on the capstan and would raise our cargo off the pier. At which point we could brace our yards and swing the cargo and lower it down into the hatches. This is how we got cargo aboard the ship in lieu of not having modern conveniences like a crane. We just made our masts and spars into a crane. Constellation has 2 capstans, one above and one below. Both of them could work together. We could put 40 men on this capstan and another 40 men on the capstan down below. It's a total of 80, and this would be for lifting really heavy objects, such as our 8-inch chambered shell guns that you'll see down below on the gun deck. Each of those weigh about 6,300 pounds apiece, roughly the weight of a small elephant. So we can't quite get a group of people together to lift that up and put it on a ship. We have to raise it up and lower it down. Both the capstans can work on a rudimentary clutch, so you can actually have them work independent of each other, or you can actually have them work together, like I said, for really heavy objects. The capstan down below, though, is meant for bringing in the anchors, which is less about bringing the anchor in and more like bringing the ship to the anchor because of the sheer weight of how heavy our anchors are. And how that was done is we have the giant anchor chain, and we would have another line that runs around the capstan down below called the messenger line. And this line would be attached to the anchor chain by a series of small ropes called nippers. And then every time we would bring in enough chain, we would detach all the nippers, pull out some more messenger line, attach the nippers again, keep pulling until the anchor was brought aboard, or until the ship was brought to the anchor, like I said. Does anyone have any questions? For the anchor chain? That is a good question. I wish I had the answer to it. I will have to look that up. But I can tell you in terms of our anchor chain, each link in the anchor chain weighs about 80 pounds per link. If that's any help. When you go down into the gun deck, you will see metal holes through the deck. Those are the holes that the anchor chain would have ran into to its storage place down below in the hold of the ship. So, USS Constellation was the last all-sail warship built by the U.S. Navy ever, right? So she was built in 1854, so right prior to the Civil War. Constellation's first mission that she did, most important mission, is that she was used to interdict slave trade vessels off the way the west coast of Africa. Because by that time, the slave trade was outlawed by both us and Britain. So all the people who were doing it illegally. She captured 3 different slave trade vessels, rescued 3 slaves. Yep. Being that she was the last all-sail warship built by the Navy, we already had steamships at the time. Those were far more faster and advanced than this ship. Because this ship is dependent on wind, right? If the wind isn't blowing, we're not sailing. Steamship, all you need is you keep shoveling that coal in and you can still keep going. And that's the big advantage. So because of that, Constellation, when the Civil War happened, Constellation spent most of its time as a blockade vessel. Outside of southern ports and also in Gibraltar across the seas, where she basically sat parked outside of a harbor waiting for any sort of southern vessel to come out.
Well, I do plan to go to grad school hopefully next year. I've been more interested in archaeology, not so much like military archaeology so much, but it helps broaden my knowledge, so that's always positive and good. It's very nice being in the outdoors, generally speaking. It's maybe not so much during the 100-degree days, but other than that, it's always nice to be outside. We do have Torsk and Chesapeake on the 3rd pier, and then we have the Coast Guard cutter Taney on Pier 5. Okay. The Chesapeake is a lightship, so literally a floating lighthouse. She was commissioned in 1930 and then decommissioned in 1970. She was, for most of her life, right outside Chesapeake Bay. She would essentially just help people come into the bay or help come out. Basically is saying, hey, yes, you're going the right way. I'm originally from central Pennsylvania, which is pretty rural, so it's been very interesting being in an urban environment. Definitely a lot more hustle and bustle, and it's nice to have a lot more variety around me. Yeah, as a tourist attraction, Baltimore is interesting because you do have the ships, you do have a bunch of different museums. You have the aquarium, you have the Jewish Museum, you have the Science Center. So there is some nice things to see here, and some great restaurants. Well, thanks for stopping by. Top of the morning to you, and I hope to see you on the Constellation. Even if you're from Baltimore, come stop by.
Component between gun crews and sailing.
Hello,
We had
welcome.
140
You can push that.
Yeah.
Then you guys can just
Like
go
how
this
many
way.
officers?
All 4 decks are open today, but as you go down
It
below,
looked like they had a whole lot. Officer,
any questions?
so for
Thank you so much.
non-commissioned, we have 4, and then
Hello,
commissioned we
welcome.
have
Please watch out on the awning.
That's it. So
Come this way. All 4 decks are open, but as you go down below,
This
then
way,
you guys just
Sam.
watch your head.
This way.
That's what I knew. We were looking at
Come to me.
the housing.
Yeah.
You know, the officers' quarters.
Officers'
We were
quarters.
like, man, they didn't have a whole lot of officers.
No.
What was this 4th and 5th lieutenants? That's supposed to be something.
That is the line of succession for the captain, all the way down to 5th lieutenant. So if something disastrously bad happened,
Oh, so
you would have
so they didn't have commanders, lieutenant commanders.
No.
Like they
It was just, yeah.
because they said the master became a lieutenant in junior grade.
Yeah.
What about chiefs and everything?
Yeah, they had masters, but not quite chiefs. At least not in the way we consider them today. As
I
far as
remember
I know.
learning at boot camp where chiefs came from, and they said that chiefs go all the way back to like the original Navy that was founded
Sure.
by it, but how
I
they...
think maybe they were chiefs and everything but named. Because like they
They're a master of everything. Just one name.
So they didn't have rank. The enlisted didn't have ranks like we do today. Not quite.
I mean, they still did.
They knew who you were.
Yeah.
And they knew who he was.
So-
Who the
so they
master
just,
was, who the guy, go-to guy.
So like once like they didn't have official ranks is what I'm saying. So what they petty officers.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But
basically.
then I've also heard I was a first class petty officer. I've also heard that first class went back to like 1812 or something. Was when the first class is around.
Sure.
So but I don't know how they. And I've also heard they only have 4 ranks back then. Gunners, mates, multiple mates, mates, sailing master, sailing.
Yeah, those, and as you can saw, that where they are positioned in the ship, they're all like non-commissioned because those guys had that one job, and that was all that they could.
Well, see,
There
it's
was no.
same as today. Once you become a petty officer,
Yeah.
you are that. I was an ET.
Sure.
So before, when I was E1 through E3,
Right.
I was rated.
So I mean, maybe it didn't have those levels.
So that's what I'm thinking. Once
Yeah.
they got specialized,
Once they
in
got
that job,
specialized,
they were a petty
Yeah.
officer.
They stayed at where
So
they
they
were. And we didn't quite. Yep. For this type, for a sailing ship. Yep.
I think we should start heading up because I'd feel safer being closer to the science center, just in case anything happens, okay?
Between officers, non-commissioned officers, Marines, and
You know, we can just carry this stuff like you said, but.
And just I'll hold her hand.
We're gonna leave. We got 5 minutes and we gotta go to Donovan, okay?
Want to get Donovan? He's right up there at the science center.
One more time and then we'll say bye,
being that this
everybody.
is also
I'm just going to turn this off and put it away. You don't want your coat.
Hello, top of the morning. Welcome to the USS Constellation. My name is Jordan, and a little bit about myself is I am one of the crew here on the USS Constellation. In addition to that, I am an archaeologist and an independent researcher. I am very interested in maritime archaeology, so that means the archaeology of shipwrecks, and therefore that's why I started working here at Historic Ships, because I'm a big fan of old ships. My experience here has been absolutely wonderful. I love this ship, and I love this history of this ship, and I love sharing it with others. With the Constitution aside, there's nothing else like Constellation. And then in terms of that, you have the most access to something built in from 1854. You can see all 4 decks, you can see where all the crew ate and slept, and you get a real idea for what their lives were aboard this ship. I mean, this ship has a grand history, but what we try to share is what people's lives were actually like here.
Because you kind of stutter a little, you know. I
that.
do the best. No, you have a great, strong voice. You should go into radio or something like that.
I have done podcasts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About my research.
Where the science center is?
Alright, so when you exit the building, you're going to turn left and go onto the main sidewalk here. And then when you see Urban Outfitters, you're going to turn left and walk past all those places. And you're going to eventually, maybe like 2 blocks down, see a large, it says science.
So you mean the building that says science center right over there? Okay, thank you.
Rigging, fully rigger. If we were to put all the rigging and sails on the mast, they would basically collapse underneath their own weight. All the weight for the ship is now distributed in the hull itself and not in the actual keel. So adding weight to it would disrupt that and then the entire ship. And you notice too, we're riding really high out of the water. We're 15 feet higher than the ship. So, yeah. And that was because that's the change in weight. Yeah. He's a former Marine, you know, yeah. So well, we do have veterans from the War, but it's a scatter between many different people.
Oh boy, we're all gonna get a picture.
Oh, there we go.
Like that.
I'm gonna put down the audio guys.
Let me go in front.
I'm from
Which way do you want to go?
Central Pennsylvania.
I'm going to go in front so we can
You going back down?
I'm just letting her be there.
Yeah. Well, anytime you're ready, I'm ready. I'll just sit up here, okay? I'm taking shots of stuff.
The way I see it to attract people aboard is that, I mean, again, how often do you get to step back in time until 1854? Constellation has a long and proud history, is the big part. She served in a very noble cause in fighting the slave trade off the west coast of Africa. And then she also spent a lot of time being a goodwill ambassador for the Union cause during the Civil War. In addition to that, during the potato famine in Ireland, she was used to send relief foodstuffs to the people of Ireland. So this ship has a long, proud history, and that's the important thing, that it helped people. Oh, every day we do programming of all sorts that you can come aboard. You can come aboard and we will do a gun drill where you run out and run in a gun and load it and get it all ready to fire. We also do a program where we get to learn how to use a capstan, which is something that's pretty much lost by today's technology. Another thing that kids can do when they come aboard is we also brace our yards, meaning we turn our yards back and forth to catch the wind and see how that kind of work is done. And it's remarkable because you can do this, like one of our spars, they weigh about 4 tons, and you get a good dozen group of Boy Scouts, and they can move that thing back and forth just as easily as any adult can.
Are you familiar with the turning of the ship?
Turn.
When they turn the ship once a year, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, so you could tell us that once a year.
Okay. Once a year, we do take the ship out and turn it around, and this is due to basically even out how the ship wears when it's sitting in the water. And it is a brief, small, heritage cruise with the help of a tugboat, as Constellation cannot sail on her own anymore.
Okay, so what is the most exciting thing for you, your experience has been since you've been here?
Well, for me, my excitement comes from that interaction I have with people. When people are really interested about the ship and the history, I'm feeling that energy of people walking away learning something new and being excited about that history is what I really like. I really like that interaction. My favorite part of Constellation when I come aboard is I really like going into the hold, because from an archaeology standpoint, that's the most interesting part, as you are seeing the original frames that built this ship in 1854. Welcome aboard. You guys have the whole ship open to you, plenty to see and explore. Just be sure to watch your head and use the handrails when you go down below. Okay.
And if you have any questions, feel free to ask us.
There we go.
Enjoy yourselves.
The thing that I enjoy the most about working at USS Constellation is I like the interaction with the public, sharing this ship's history with the public, and having that interaction of getting people excited for this ship and its history. That is what I really enjoy the most. My favorite part of Constellation is going down into the hold, which is where you can see the original 1854 frames, which as an archaeologist, that is the most interesting part. So, that is part of my love of this ship.
So what do you think about the ghost stories?
Well, I mean, every ship has its stories. Superstition and ships are inseparable. It's just simply part of each other, no matter what. Sailors were a superstitious lot, and they did like to tell their stories just like anyone else. I mean, we have an original tale written down in a journal of a ghost story that happened while the ship was sailing in the Mediterranean, where one day one of the officers remarked that the buckets in the hold were arranged in a most peculiar way that went against how the ship was moving. So that I will leave up to your interpretation. Well, I'm from Madison, Wisconsin, which is the capital of Wisconsin, and what brought me to Baltimore was working on these ships. In my time since I've lived here, I've really come to like Baltimore. It's been a new experience, and I understand why they call it Charm City. Everybody come on down and visit the USS Constellation, bring your kids, and Baltimoreans, come enjoy this history. I'll be so glad to share it with you. Thanks for coming on board Top of the Morning, and we hope to see you next time. All right, bye now. WisconsinShipwrecks.org. That's one for the State Historical Society. That's just like if you want to learn anything. Thank you for coming over, guys. Nice talking to you. Thanks. I need that. No. However, I do want to try to think of. I would. I thought of it, well, like, that was the thing, and I would want to make hardtack first, and then grind it up and make it, rather than just putting flour and water together.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, then like molasses and dried fruit.